Joining us now, author and fitness expert Jillian Michaels. Jillian was born in Los Angeles. You know, Jillian, we're so excited to talk to you. We were looking to speak with you about this. I mean, Jillian, words really fail at the reckless negligence and destruction in L.A. Americans are really shocked at what's going on. What's your reaction to all of this?
To be fair, I'm equally as shocked, but more so outraged, almost to the point of being at a loss for words. And the reaction time was not 7 minutes. It was actually around 45 minutes. And I happened to be exactly where the fire broke out on Sunset and Pacific Coast Highway, working out at the new Equinox there while visiting my mother in California. And I was at that gym for 30 minutes and no one showed up while the fire was burning. And now it's coming out that it was roughly 45 minutes before anyone arrived on the scene. And this is the tip of the iceberg when you start to break down how horrendously this has been mismanaged from top to bottom.
What else are you hearing, Jillian?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go back in time for a moment here to my fire in 2018. This was caused from a faulty hook on a PG&E, a private utility company's electric line. And since then, nothing has changed. Gavin Newsom let them off the hook, no pun intended. That equipment was over 100 years old. And now the word on the street is that the Eden fire was caused by Southern California Edison's outdated infrastructure. And I can't wrap my head around this. We've seen this happen now year after year after year. How many people need to die? How many lives need to be destroyed? People need to lose their homes, be financially devastated. It's disgusting and it's unnecessary. Why are you cutting the fire budget? Why is the reservoir of 117 million gallons, why is it dry? How come you are vetoing bills as the governor of California that would help manage forestry? There was one AB 2330. I encourage you to look it up, that would have facilitated forestry management and helped prevent this kind of madness. The list is so long, I don't think we have enough time over the course of the remainder of your show to go over all of it.
Jillian, what you're saying is we hear it loud and clear. I mean, Governor Gavin Newsom is getting called out by even House Speaker Mike Johnson for focusing more on tweeting out videos and selfies of himself on Twitter. We're talking to locals in L.A. They're saying they should be held criminally liable for mishandling this disaster. I mean, PG&E has given a lot of money to Gavin Newsom. PG&E has been accused of criminal felonies and charged with that. PG&E's former vice president of electric operations now runs the LA Water and Power Department. She gets paid $750,000 a year. And so, you know, it went from 4 minutes to 7 minutes before the fire to now 45 minutes for a truck to show up.
You have said this better than I could have. You have articulated it so perfectly. That is exactly what's going on. It's beyond incompetence. It's beyond negligence. It's pure corruption. And it's year after year after year. People need to demand change. We got to stop. Even if you were to put this on climate change, that's a red herring. If that's the case, and it is in fact climate change, it would require that much preparation. If you want to hear something else that's just unbelievably upsetting, they knew about this fire on January 2nd. You could have put a command center in place. I was interviewing Michael Schellenberger on my podcast about this. They knew about this on January 2nd. They could have had a command center in place. They could have spent $100 million recruiting firefighters from other states, asking Canada and Mexico ahead of time, going to the National Guard ahead of time, pre-positioning fire trucks ahead of time. But no, that's not what happened. On January 4th, the mayor left town on a trip funded by the Los Angeles taxpayers for business that had nothing to do with running Los Angeles. And Gavin Newsom didn't call in the Guard until January 8th. Wow. It's absolutely infuriating. And I want to say this. This is not a red issue. This is not a blue issue. And the more we make it Republican versus Democrat, the more Democrats refuse to see what is right in front of their face. This is negligence and this is corruption at the highest level. And it is time that people are outraged and demand change. And they're certainly going to need it when it's time to rebuild this state. And we haven't even seen the beginning of the fallout from these fires yet.
Well, Jillian Michaels, you just gave voice to a lot of people who are desperate out in the LA area. We appreciate you so much. Please come back on the show again. It's great to have you on. It's good to see you. Thank you, Jillian Michaels.
Thank you so much for having me.